Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell you some tips in the research lab or organic chemistry lab. Whenever you do some chemistry reactions, sometimes you face some problem. Like if you do a reaction with the palladium catalyst, after doing the reaction, your glassware will be like black, like stain with the palladium black. So how to remove that palladium? So you can use 50-50 nitric acid and water mixture, and it will take out all the palladium black from your glassware. Your glassware will be clean. So this is one of the important tips for the palladium catalyst stain after the reactions. If you do the reaction with the pyridine, how to remove the pyridine? So you can do one thing. Just take an aqueous solution of copper sulfate and wash your crude mixture with the aqueous copper sulfate solution. That copper sulfate will produce a complex with the pyridine, and that pyridine will be gone. You can do couple of times the copper sulfate wash, all pyridine will be gone. If you have a high boiling solvent in your reaction crude, how to remove those high boiling solvents? Like you might use toluene, boiling point is 111. You might use DME, dimethoxyethane, chlorobenzene, 1,4-dioxane, etc. So you can add some hexane in the reaction mixture and do the rotaweb couple of times, and every time add more hexane and do the rotaweb. So ultimately, in terms of azeotropic mixture rule, those solvent boiling point will be decreased by addition of the hexane. So ultimately, the solvents will be gone with the hexane while you do the rotaweb. But in some cases, if you use DMA, DMF, so you can remove those solvents also by other technique. So you can wash your crude with the water couple of times, DMA and DMF will be gone with the water. But in some cases, if your compound is water sensitive, but you might have some DMA, then you have to do something else. Low pressure vacuum pump or like rotaweb for long time. Also, you can do something else too. Like if your compound is water sensitive but not air sensitive, then you can flow the air inside your flask for one hour or 2 hours. So all solvent will be gone. If your compound is air sensitive also, then you can run argon gas or nitrogen gas for 1 hour if you have that facility. So if normally, to remove the trace amount of the water, sometimes you can add magnesium sulfate or sodium sulfate to remove that water. In some cases, you can use ethanol. You can add ethanol and do rotaweb, and ethanol will take out your water. Sometimes you can also use some methanol. If you have the DMSO in your reaction crude and you want to remove quickly, so you can use cold water or like iced water. So DMSO normally go quickly with the cold water from your reaction, while you can extract your product with ethyl acetate or DCM. If you do the reaction with the zinc or tin derivatives like zinc chloride, tin chloride or something, and after workup you might form like some zinc hydroxide or tin hydroxide. Those are very insoluble in water, and it may form some solids inside your flask, and it may stuck in your glassware. How to wash or clean those things? You can just carefully add like 50% hydrochloric acid, aqueous acid solution. So those will be dissolved, and that can be done. That can be gone with the water. If you use copper derivatives or like copper salt, and after the reaction, if you have the copper stain or copper derivative stain in your glassware, how to clean that? So you can use some aqueous ammonium chloride solution and use that solution in the flask or like glassware. That copper stain will be gone. You can also use concentrated sulfuric acid. In many cases, some stain may not be removed by the easy method. So in that case, carefully you have to use mixture of sulfuric acid and the chromic acid or like potassium dichromate and sulfuric acid mixture. But be careful, that can be very dangerous. So you have to do inside the hood with the full support of your PPE or personal protective equipment. And that is highly oxidizing agent, potassium dichromate. So use carefully sulfuric acid and potassium dichromate. If you are a very new student or like very new researcher, try to take the help from your expert or experienced people in your lab, like postdoc or like experienced graduate student. If you do the reaction with the bromine, how to remove the excess bromine after the reaction? So you can add sodium bisulfite SO3, NaHSO3, so aqueous solution. The bromine will react with that and it will go with the water. You can also, if your product is solid and still you have the bromine, you can also wash your product with the ethanol. The ethanol will take out your bromine. Sometimes acetonitrile can also take out your bromine if your product is solid. Sometimes you can wash your solution or organic part with aqueous sodium thiosulfate solution. 10% sodium thiosulfate solution will take out your bromine or also iodine.